Hi, welcome to Property Photography. Today I thought we'd take a look at television screens. These can be quite a nuisance. We certainly don't want them switched on when we're photographing interiors. However, to have a black blank screen looks quite dreadful too. So what can we do about it? One of the things that I do is replace the TV screen with my client's logo. So you can put the logo on top of the TV and make it look as though that the TV is displaying an advert for your client. Now, sometimes we encounter more than one TV. So this shows how important it is to deal with these issues, and also it's a good way of using some advertising space. So let's have a look, see how we do that. We're going to be using Bridge and Photoshop. If you're used to Lightroom, you can still do it in Lightroom, but most of the work is done in Photoshop. So let's take a look at that. This is the image of the TV. Just take this zoom out so we can see the full frame. There we go. All the work would have been done in Bridge and Photoshop, i.e. getting the light balance right, cleaning up the image, maybe do a bit more post in Photoshop. You can use Lightroom as well, but for this we need layers for what we're going to do now. So you will have the two images open. This is the one, as I say, we're going to replace the screen in. At the top you'll see the two tabs, so that one's the image that I'm going to bring in over the top of the TV. In this instance I'm using a PNG of my business card. So let's move over to the left hand side at the top and select the move tool. Now if you are using a PNG, be careful that you select part of the image, because if you select the background you'll see nothing actually moves. Selecting the image and you see it starts to move. So hold that down and then take it over onto your main image. Drag over the TV and release. Sometimes you'll be asked a question if the bit depth is different or the colour file is different. In this case the source of the colour file is different, but we're just going to tap OK. It's not really going to matter in this instance. And then we're going to zoom in so that we can see where we're working and just bring that over the top. Okay, now we have the logo on top of the TV. Let's go to Edit, Transform and Scale. Holding down the Shift key, drag one of these corners. I'm dragging the top corner in, and as we resize, holding the Shift key will contain all the proportions. Now while we're in this mode, you can also move that file or that layer to approximately where you want it. I'm just going to drag that up a little bit more, and what I'm looking to do here is these points is get more or less the right size. So I'm taking the bottom one, holding the Shift key down again and just taking that up. Then I'm going to move the whole thing up a little bit and making sure that these center points here are roughly in the middle of the TV, or in this case there's a name there so we can center it up with that. Let's accept those by tapping the tick, go back to Edit, Transform, and this time we're selecting Distort. What we need to do is make sure that the top of this frame runs parallel with the top of the TV, the bottom and both sides. So I'm going to take that one down. I'm going to drag it out a bit as well. Now you could resize using this tool, but I find it's better if you actually use the scale to resize. It needs to come down. Here we go, and that one needs to come out. just a touch. I think this top one needs to come out a little more. There we go, and we'll just accept that change. If there was glare on the TV or reflections, this logo would be sat on top of it, so it wouldn't look realistic. So to make it look more realistic in those instances, if you come over to where your blend is, your layers and your blend mode, let's select the blend mode and change it from normal to screen. We're not going to see a lot of change in this instance because I don't have any glare or reflection on this particular TV. But selecting screen would make it look as though your logo is behind the reflections and make it look part of the TV show or TV screening and make it look more realistic. But because it's a very dark screen and because I'm using white writing, the contrast is very stark. So I'm just going to drop the opacity on this logo down to about 80%. And that looks a bit better. Zooming out, let's get the overall effect. And I think you'll agree, that doesn't look too bad at all. Well, that's it. That's how we replace a TV screen using Photoshop. All your post is done in Bridge or Lightroom if you prefer, and then most of the work is then completed in Photoshop, the most powerful tool. It's a good technique to use. It's something that we can all do, and it looks more professional rather than seeing a blank TV screen. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned and subscribe for the next few videos coming out soon. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.